All right, guys, day 3 of Road to Throwing Fuel. Didn't film my prep work today, just kind of got through it as quickly as possible. As you can see behind me, I've got an absolute mess. Body's incredibly sore as I spent about 8 hours in the car this morning. So we're actually going to skip the med ball work for today just because I know that my hips are locked up. Not going to move very well. So we're actually going to go through a little bit of extensive med ball tap work and then go right into our throwing. Throwing today is going to be a 1-day workload of 2.0, keeping it nice and light. Probably just arm action drills again, trying to get the shoulder moving. Pecs are pretty sore, so let's get it rolling and get into some med ball taps. First, we're going to go into just some standard overhead med ball taps. Starting off pretty slow, we're going to go for 40 to 50 reps and then hopefully increase some speed as the chest starts to open up a little bit and the lats are working. All right, now we're gonna move on to what I like to call a 90-90 throwers rebounder. You can also call it something similar to just med ball rebounders, anything you really want with the wall. But the idea is kind of going up in here and letting the med ball tap off the wall and help us into some external or layback. I would go through 3 sets of 20 on each side. So, if you guys are wondering, the med ball that I'm using is just one of the more bouncy med balls. Today we're rolling with the 4-pounders. So now we're going to go into IYTs, basically just creating a quarter of a circle. Probably do 2 sets of 2 reps on each side. All right, that is it for some med ball tap work, and get the pulse sensor up and start some throwing. All right, moving on to some throwing. I just had 1 day workload of a 2. Try and keep it nice and light, mainly arm action drills. We're gonna try and get to at least 30 throws with the blue plyo before we move on to a red, if not 40. So just gonna start off with some simple pivot pickoffs. All right, that's 10 throws. We're at a 0.1 workload, average arm speed around 260 right now. We're gonna move into just some traditional square throw, 10 toes, whatever you really wanna call it. All right, up to 20 throws, 0.3 overall workload. Average elbow torque's been around 7 or 8 so far. Average arm speed right now, rocking 285. So after traditional square throw, we're gonna pull that right foot back a little bit, get the hips just a little bit more involved, and try and get another 10 throws here. All right, we're at 30 throws. 1 day workload is up to a 0.6. Average arm speed's at a 302. With those, elbow torque was right around 9 to 10 Newton meters worth of stress. So now we're gonna flip it into a split stance throw. Again, rocking figure eights. We're gonna get 10 here, and then we're gonna move on to red plyo ball. Hopefully add a little bit more stress with the lower weight. All right, 40 throws. We're at a 1 day workload of 0.9. Average arm speed is up to 314. Again, that elbow torque's been chilling around 8 to 10 Newton meters worth of stress. So let's switch it over. Go to a red plyo ball. I'm actually gonna keep the blue plyo ball in my glove hand. Kind of noticed as I was going through these, didn't have very good feel of what my glove side was doing. So I'm just gonna add that for some extra proprioception. Immediately arm speed is jumping up with that added counterweight. All right, 50 throws, 1.2 one-day workload so far. Average arm speed's up to a 330. Once we went to the red plyo ball and the counterweight in the left hand, arm speed really jumped up a little bit. We were chilling around 350 with the blue split stance throws, right around 400 with those. So we're gonna add in a little bit more arm speed, a little bit more stress, just try and get to my workload number. So we're gonna do some roll-ins real quick. Hoping we can get through about 10 of these, although I'm not sure if we're gonna get there. That one jumped up pretty quick. Ooh, yanked it. Hit the camera. Ah, it felt fuego. All right, we're at 60 throws. Big jump on the one-day workload. We went from a 1.3 to a 1.8. Average arm speed's up to a 352. Right there, arm speed was up to about 530. So those felt pretty good. Maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 more, and we should get to our 2-0 workload for the day. And there we have it, folks. 2-0 workload for the day. 359 average arm speed. Elbow torque peaked at 23 Newton meters. So overall, not a bad day. Body's feeling tired. It's feeling stiff. See you guys tomorrow.